Hello and welcome back to the Weekend Spread, the Schooner Pod's weekly college football pick'em podcast. And we have arrived at the end of the road, folks. The Weekend Spread, the final week, it's the championship week where we break down every single championship game from across college football, D1. So we'll talk about the big ones, later in the show, the SEC, the Big Ten, and we'll, talk about the smaller ones as we go, like the Conference USA and the ACC. So, we'll talk about all of them, even the ones we don't want to talk about. I'm your host, Bobby Howard. With me today, we've got Jameson Maxwell, Ty Lee, and the captain, Boaton Blake. And boys, before we dive in to this slate of conference championship games, anything to glean from the penultimate college football playoff rankings before Alabama jumps Notre Dame, kind of the most notable thing. Texas A&M sliding all the way to 7. Anything really stand out in your mind, Jameson?
Yeah, I don't get this committee. I really don't. And obviously, some of the moves they made, like you just said, the Texas A&M sliding beyond Ole Miss makes zero sense to me at all. Like, I just don't get it. And then they go out and they try to leave some cliffhangers saying that they can still make moves for people that don't even play this next week. Like, what the hell's going on? This is all bait. This is just ridiculous.
Yeah, we've gotten to the point where I wish we didn't do this weekly television show because I don't think this committee is prepared to put their, draw a line in the sand at any point till the end when they're forced to. I just hate that it's just from week to week. We don't really know what's going on in their minds. We have them on there doing 6-7 and all this meme crap and not actually producing a good result. We've reached the point where I didn't really want to expand the playoff, but now I just kind of want to expand it more just because I'm really sick of having these bubble conversations. I think last year was kind of the lack of bubble per se. A lot of teams maybe the SEC thought they deserved, but were 3-loss and not good 3 losses. Whereas Texas this year is a better 3-loss, I'll say, than last year's SEC teams. But teams like BYU, who has a better resume than Texas A&M, sitting all the way out of the playoff, basically just having to. This weekend, they have to win in order to be in. It just doesn't make sense what they evaluate. They're not even doing the big brands thing correctly. I don't get it. I just don't get it. It's they're not making the big brands crowd happy. They're not making the people that are just trying to get the 12 most deserving or the 12 best or the 12 best resumes. They're doing this weird blended stuff and just kind of making everybody mad in the process.
Yeah, my favorite thing, and obviously with the CFP, the final one is really the only one that matters, but you look at the way that they've slated them this week, and we have 2 rematches. We have Alabama OU as a rematch right now, and Notre Dame Texas A&M as a rematch. And the way they have the Big Ten slotted, and the way the playoff is slotted, potentially they're setting themselves a path forward to an Indiana Oregon rematch as well if Ohio State won that game. So it's I don't even know what we're doing here. What is the point of regular season games? And Texas fans are talking about we need to cancel marquee matchups. I think at this point you need to cancel all matchups. Every team should opt out of every game prior to the CFP if you're just a brand like Texas. There's no reason to play any football at all. So just play a spring game and then have open practice every week. Let the media and just make it to the playoff because I don't even know what we're doing here. Yes, I'm an OU fan. Yes, we lost to Texas. But we should not be arguing over which third loss is more excusable between Florida and Ohio State as to why a team deserves to be in the playoff. It's absolutely absurd, the leash that some of these teams get. And look, a lot of people would say the same thing about OU. So I understand that. I think objectively OU is deserving, but I understand the people that are saying, oh, they're a 2-loss team. Why do they feel like they're guaranteed a spot in? So
the resume.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just trying to get in front of the argument.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, though, is when you're talking about 2-loss teams, bubbles, all of that. I'm okay with that because they're if you get left out, it's oh well, that sucks, but it's not a travesty like an undefeated Florida State getting left out, like Auburn undefeated in 2004 getting left out of a 2-team playoff. That's the problem. That is actually a travesty. A 3-loss Texas team getting left out because you lost to Florida, because you lost to whoever. Look, like I was saying in one of our texts earlier, that Texas team, their season would have been over by October. Like, so yeah, I don't really care that much that you scheduled Ohio State and lost. Like, sorry, you know.
My thing is, I can't be bringing that energy though. Like, I don't care, because if you don't care, you get in situations like BYU that is just having a generational season. They have a tough road loss to Texas Tech, and it's just somehow on the outside looking in. I don't get it.
But that's the thing with BYU though, and why this whole setup is totally fine. Is BYU controls their own destiny. If you beat Texas Tech, you're in. Like, it's not.
It shouldn't be that. Like, it's one of those things. It shouldn't be that way. Like, why is all these other teams that are sitting there, like Notre Dame or not OU, but like Texas A&M, like these other teams that are benefiting not being in their conference championship, just absolutely sitting there doing nothing? Why is it BYU's the one having to put the skin in the game when Notre Dame played 2 legitimate opponents this year, lost to both of them, and is sitting there all pretty that they could still move up and make the playoff?
I think that's a fair but different point. The where conference championship games fit into this is sort of a unique.
It sucks.
Challenging. Yeah, because it's teams
SEC
like
and
BYU.
Big Ten championship. One versus we'll get to this game later, but
well,
one versus
both
two
Big
is
Ten
playing this
teams
week, and we don't care about this game. Nobody in America is talking about this game. We're talking about literally everything else in the sport besides 1 versus 2 playing.
And I think honestly, the conference championships are antiquated now. I mean, you're dealing with a situation where, you know, an Ole Miss team with 1 loss, a Texas A&M team with 1 loss. You know, I don't know if you can 1,000% say that they're better than Alabama, but Alabama gets in because they didn't have to play either of them. And it's one of those things. These conferences are too damn big.
Yes,
you look at Duke randomly slipping in. Like, how can you definitively say that Duke is the best team in the ACC if they find a way in? There's no way you can say that Duke is the second best team in the ACC. And that's the biggest problem with all of this. They just need to reevaluate so much of the system now that it's bloated. It's ridiculous. We're never going back to smaller conferences. So let's find a system that actually works at determining the best teams.
Super League.
I mean,
no,
maybe not.
No.
But maybe there's a case for expansion. I know that sounds insane, but maybe there's a case for expansion and eliminating the conference championship.
I'd rather it be closer to March Madness style, not like the amount of teams, but in the sense of every conference winner gets to be in the tournament. Plus, there's like a number of at-larges that are like mostly dominated by the bigger conferences. Like, I'm fine with that. I just think it's just dumb at the end of the day when it's like we have this conference system where every other NCAA sport, if you win your conference, you're playing in the postseason tournament or whatever they do, and football's just kind of the one we don't. And we've expanded, and I understood that in the beginning when you have just a national title game of 2, maybe even 4. I understand it, but now that we're at 12, it's like we just kind of got to let a little bit of everybody in. It's gonna not lead to a good product in some of those games, and like that's what happened in some March Madness. But like, I would rather it be like a March Madness bubble discussion where it's like, yeah, some fan bases are mad, whereas college football is just every single Tuesday, Twitter's on fire about everybody that's just so upset with the system. So
yeah.
I personally, I gotta say it. I personally, 24 teams, guarantee the power conferences, quote unquote, whatever you define that, a certain number of slots, and then conference championships are just awarded to whatever team in your conference makes it the farthest, and then you have a play-in game, and you get like Texas versus Vanderbilt fighting with their full rosters, no opt-outs. Guys are fighting to be in the playoff. That would be a sick. There's no way that ever happens, but that would be a.
No matter what you say and what
there's always going to be
people will whine. That is,
I know, but
legitimately everything.
The whole sport is whining. Like,
we talked about this.
If Rutgers gets left out of the NCAA tournament, yes, there are people whining out there. There is a small niche group that actually feel bad for them, but it kind of subsides immediately after when you have a field that big. This one, people are not going to, like, people are going to be whining, and we don't start the tournament immediately after it's chosen, so people don't forget it for a while either.
People nowadays are just too damn entitled. That's what I think.
They are. I mean, fundamentally, they are. Look, a team that has a reasonable chance of winning the championship is not even close to being left out of the playoff. So it's like people are just arguing over who gets to be the fodder for the teams that actually have a chance.
I'm not saying they would win, but I think Notre Dame could. They shouldn't be in because of the resume stuff, but I don't know when that team's clicking. I kind of
And I mean, we've only had 1 year of the expanded playoff. I think you need to keep running 12. I know that's realistically not going to end up happening because people are going to continue to bellyache and do all this BS, but we'll see. We'll see. It just become really hard to determine conference champions, and I think my issue is more of the championship game rather than, I don't know.
You can even separate teams.
Situation.
You can't separate teams within conferences. Like I saw Vanderbilt had I can't remember which of the SEC contenders, but only has one overlapping data point with them. It's just the conferences have gotten too big. And in a time where you used to be able to compare teams within a conference to be like, okay, this is kind of the clear 1 through 4. We don't know. I don't know for the SEC because a lot of these teams just didn't play each other. They just didn't play each other, don't have that many common opponents, and I don't know what to take from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one real quick thing before we jump into the games. Just to play devil's advocate for Notre Dame, maybe get some clicks here. Everyone's saying they should join a conference. If they were in the ACC this year, they'd have 1 loss and they'd be the ACC. They would have had an easier path. So I don't know if that's necessarily the best argument against Notre Dame, but the strength of schedule argument is reasonable, but we can point at strength of schedule for people that are in conferences as well.
Yeah, no, and it's a whole deal. But I will say, if you're an OU fan, you have to feel really, really good about where Notre Dame ended up because you know that there's really no chance of Notre Dame leaping you. And the fact remains, you just need Alabama to lose the SEC title and you're hosting a playoff game. I think that's pretty clear.
Y'all are probably the happiest fan base of these rankings that came out today. Maybe Ole Miss. I guess you're a little happy that.
But then
you didn't.
But you might get the Lucy pulling the football back from Charlie Brown at the end once they say, "Oh, we evaluated the whole picture," or whatever. I mean, Blake, you know how these sort of things can go on the last week as a TCU fan.
They make no sense. They make no sense. You can beat a team by 60 points when you're ranked and into the playoff and then get booted out.
Yeah. It's interesting as Oklahoma fans going to Bryan, Texas, or going back to Norman. That's quite the interesting dilemma we're in right now.
Yeah. Or maybe they decide to just randomly flip-flop them last week of the year because they're like, oh, Lane, whatever, after looking at everything. And then you have to go to Oxford. But
who the heck plays in Bryan, Texas?
That's
Bryan College Station. It's it's College Station. We do not need to call it Bryan. I know what you're doing.
I did that.
Trying to type it. Jameson is trying to type it for once.
What is going on here? I was like, I don't think it's Notre Dame.
I did it very much on purpose. I knew what I was doing.
Jameson learned one thing about Texas A&M and decided to tell the class. This is a way to troll everybody. All right, so last slate of the weekend spread, and top 3 spots are pretty tight here. Jameson's in the lead at 78 and 68. Brutal rivalry week for. I mean, no one had a great week, and I had an awful week. Jameson went 5-5. He's in the lead. Bowden Blake at 75 and 71. He was 4-6 last week, but got an extra bump from his Alabama future wild card hitting. So all of our futures hit, by the way. So there you go. Good job, guys. Way to go, team. Ty is third at 74 and 72, 4-6 last week, and he's comfortably ahead as I am in last at 68, 78. 2-8 last week, just a disaster for me. I wanted chaos, didn't get any chaos. I thought there would be something popping up, and nothing popped up, and that's how you end up with 2-8. Awful, atrocious picking week for me. Just a bad football prognostication year for me. I finished last in our fantasy league. Just bad, just really rough. I need to hit the offseason tape a lot harder. This is just a poor effort.
We were going to get rid of Bobby, but we couldn't because we'd be in a Penn State situation. There's no one left. There's no one left to hire at this point. I'm kidding. We're never going to get rid of Bobby.
Yeah.
Mostly because he's the CEO.
Yeah, but it kind of can't. Yeah, I don't even know how that would work. You don't even know that, Ty. You don't even have the password. You're not even logged in.
This company.
Bobby doesn't know the password either because he didn't post that egg meme for a very long time.
I was driving, Blake. It was a very
No,
important
Bobby
time.
deserved every little bit of how bad he did last week because I even gave him a reminder that he has to post the Mandalorian egg meme. And it feels like the past couple of years I've been having to poke him to do it. And it's been really disappointing. I'm very disappointed in you, Bobby.
You just gotta post it at sometime in the morning. You don't. It's not like Jameson was like right when the ball is struck on the kickoff, like hit the send. He just said post it on the social media.
I was traveling, guys. I'm sorry. I'll do better next time. You know what I should do is I should just schedule it out for next year.
Yes,
already. Yeah. I just already have that ready every Friday morning. I desire the egg. Yeah. But again, we're picking every single game on the slate. So stick with us on this one. If you're watching this on playback, you can skip later and see the bigger conference championships. We go basically in order of I don't want to say importance, just in order of like when the games tip off until you get to the big ones, and then it kind of goes in somewhat importance. But we're kicking off on Friday, the Conference USA championship game. Two pretty new teams to FBS. The Kennesaw State Owls, 9-3 overall, 8-4 against the spread. They're heading to Jacksonville State to take on the Gamecocks, who are 8-4 overall, 6-6 against the spread. Kennesaw State, a 2.5-point favorite. You can find this one 6 p.m. Central on CBS Sports Network on Friday for y'all sickos out there. Jameson, as you're in the lead, you kick us off. Who do you like?
I don't know what the hell's going on here. I tried. I tried to figure it out. Now, did I only spend about 6-7 minutes on it trying to figure out what the deal is?
No.
Sorry, I'm not that lame. I was legitimately saying
gonna love that one.
No, I legitimately was just trying to say how much time I spent on it. I don't know why Kennesaw State is favored. I'm gonna pick them. They lost the regular season matchup. They're playing on the road. Something's weird here. I'm going to follow the Owls. And I do agree, Ty. I think Owls could beat Gamecocks in a fight.
Yeah, so the only thing I know about these two teams is that the starting running back for Jacksonville State is Cam Cook, who was a freshman last year at TCU, leads the nation in rushing, I believe. He played like trash for TCU, and he was always moving sideways, never moving forward. Thought going to Jacksonville State wouldn't get anything out of him, and now he's like better than our entire running back room. Make it make sense. Fire Bryles. I'm gonna take a Jacksonville State plus the 2.5. Get the ground game going. Since I don't. Does Kennesaw State? I thought they ran the triple option at one point. Do they still do that? Not really.
If you're asking me a question about Kennesaw State, nobody knows. Like, if anyone would know, it'd be you, Blake.
Maybe they run like one of the weird like offshoots like Jamie Chadwick does. I'll look into it real quick.
We need a friend of the podcast, Austin, to be in the chat right now.
Yes, he would know. Did evolve from the triple option. So,
do you guys know the name of the coach for Jacksonville State?
No,
it's Charles Kelly.
Charlie Kelly. There we go.
I'm surprised that Blake didn't make any mention of the fact that this is a exceedingly rare matchup of state teams that are not states.
In Kennesaw, is that even a city?
I don't think it might be a county. It's Georgia, so it might be a county. This is a Florida-Georgia matchup right here. I'm assuming this is Jacksonville.
It's Alabama. It's Jacksonville, Alabama.
Yeah. As soon as he said that,
I did know that part. I actually did know that.
This is the SEC. This is the undercard fight for the SEC championship.
We got the Sun Belt too. This is the undercard, man.
Yeah, this is like
this is like the type of stuff that only Ford's watching.
Yeah, exactly. He knows both these guys personally.
Yeah.
So speaking
he doesn't want to see them fight because they're buddies.
It's gonna make Friendsgiving awkward. Yeah. Speaking of a friend of the pod, Ford, who's a big UFC guy. Bobby posed the question before we got started here to me whether a gamecock or an owl would win in a fight. And right, it sounds like a reasonable question at first until you look up the type of owl that Kennesaw State is, which is a great horned owl. The 50-inch wingspan. That's wider than OU receiver Deion Burks, if you're familiar with that little 4'9" critter we got running around sometimes on offense. That great horned owls are native to the
Just
U.S. and
pick
are
the
such a
freaking game.
problem for people with chickens that they're like they're called the tigers of the air, and they will run through your chicken coop if they get access to it. So just to clarify, if you Google that, you will just get real pictures of owls messing up chickens. Give me Jacksonville State. I feel like
What the
Blake is a
heck?
sicko. No, because it's independent of the mascot fight. The mascot fight is one thing. The mascots are not fighting. I would never wish for that. But yeah, Blake is enough of a sicko that he just inherently has a feel for these kind of games. Even though he doesn't know anything about either team, I trust his instincts. So give me Jacksonville State plus 2.5 in this one to get the cover.
Well, one thing you did not think about in the owl versus gamecock fight here is that this game is happening at night, and the owl can therefore have the advantage, sneak up on the gamecock, and then strike. So
just to clarify, again, this is not a hypothetical. These things mess up chickens all the time. I saw some horrific pictures when I Googled the hypothetical.
Oh, God. It's a pretty good chicken. I'm going Kennesaw State to win on the road, though. Somebody knows something I don't know, and it is not about, chickens and owls fighting. So, yeah. Let's move on to our next game. It's a big one in the Sun Belt Conference. It's the Troy Trojans, 8-4 against the spread and overall. They're heading to James Madison to take on the 25th ranked Dukes. Just popped into the college football playoff rankings today. JMU is 11-1, 8-4 against the spread, and a 23.5 point favorite, which is enormous. You can find this one 6 p.m. Central on ESPN on Friday night. Look, James Madison, you see that number by their name, and there is a slim but important possibility where they might be able to squeeze into this college football playoff. If Duke wins the ACC and JMU wins, I mean, they're in. But if they make a massive statement, I mean, it depends, but I mean, they're not totally out either. If, the American game is a mess and, North Texas wins, but JMU looks really, really impressive. I could see a world where JMU style points their way in over the American champion. I don't think it's going to be likely, but I'm going to go JMU to pour it on just in case. They're going to be trying to make a massive, massive impression on the committee here. They'll have no idea what happens with the American game. It's running concurrent. So give me James Madison to run roughshod all over the Troy Trojans at home. So 23.5 point cover. Here we go.
Yeah. James Madison, the man himself, founder of James Madison University, potentially, but at least the namesake, once said that knowledge will forever govern ignorance, and a people who mean to be their own governors must arm themselves with the power which knowledge gives. And he was, of course, talking about ball knowers and ball not knowers. And he knew that ball knowers would take his namesake, James Madison University, minus 23.5 in this one. And he knows that the ESPN camera is going to pan to their star quarterback, and he's going to run out of the tunnel and he's going to say, it's James Madison in time.
Blake?
I'm with Bobby that James Madison definitely needs style points. They can't just win this game. They have to win it big, because I think whether it be UVA or Duke, it's so hard to envision two G5 teams getting into this in the end. I feel like they would just do some sorcery with Duke, like drop JMU out, put them at Duke at 25, and they're in. I'm gonna go stinky here. I'm gonna go Troy. I think JMU controls early, but these are big numbers in a conference game when they're playing for something. And you know what? The thing about James Madison is their coach might be a little distracted. We got a lot of distracted coaches in the G5 ranks because they've all taken jobs. They've all taken jobs elsewhere. They've already had their introductory press conferences at those said schools, but they're still sticking around coaching. A little backdoor cover here, something cheeky. Maybe James Madison wins by 21, but I'm going to go the Troy Trojans.
Yeah, he's definitely distracted. He's already accepted another job. Like it's like he's gone. I'm going with Troy here as well. I do like this. I like this James Madison team. 23 is way too much. Way too much.
Fair enough. Moving on to our next game. It's the American Conference Championship, and it's ranked. You can't say that about some of these, even if you're Power 5 or Power 4. It's the 24th ranked North Texas Mean Green, 11-1, 10-2 against the spread, heading to New Orleans to take on the 20th ranked Tulane Green Wave, who are 10-2 overall, 6-6 against the spread. UNT a 2.5 point favorite on the road. I had to check this spread a couple times. I was a little bit confused there, but here we are. You can find this one 7 p.m. Central on ABC on Friday night. Jameson, who do you like?
Am I missing something of like why like all of a sudden people are just going crazy about Tulane? Like I just don't know if I'm following it. Like the way they ended the season, they beat a Memphis team that was kind of already going downhill. Florida Atlantic's nothing. Temple is nothing. Charlotte is absolutely nothing. In the game before that, they got destroyed by UTSA, a team that I don't think is that good. And look up what North Texas did to UTSA. I think there's a lot too much weight on this Tulane beating Duke. Duke's a team that is so hot and cold. So hot and cold. I just think Tulane's just extremely overrated. I'm going to go North Texas here, cover the spread. I think they've done really well other than playing the buzzsaw of South Florida.
Yeah, this one's kind of a coin. No, God, no. USF, talk about an all-time fumble when it comes to this playoff, that we have a situation that potentially 2 G5 teams could get in, and USF is nowhere near the conversation. Nowhere near the conversation. But the line makes no sense to me. I think this should be a pick'em. Especially Tulane, home field advantage, New Orleans. I think John Summerall's a little bit better of a coach. And North Texas really, they've had a fantastic season, don't get me wrong, but they also haven't really played anybody too. I'm going to go Tulane. I'm not going to bet this one. I don't know what the motivation factor for two programs that basically everybody's on the outs and somehow can still make a playoff game. Don't know how that's going to be. I guess that's the new age college football playoff for you. We'll get to see some new trends, but I'm going to take Tulane. Yeah, I don't love it either which way. I just feel like, I don't know. Everybody's checked in and checked out just because of the playoff, but the coaches are out the door. Don't know what to do, but I'll take the Green Wave.
Yeah, I'm with Blake. I just got to take home field here. There's so many unknowns with the carousel with this still does have playoff implications. I understand that it seems like it, but anything can happen.
It does. Anything. It does have play. It is going to determine the playoff.
Yeah, massive playoff. It literally will decide whoever gets in.
It's a playoff game.
It is a playoff game.
Yeah, yeah. Give me Tulane. Give me Tulane at home, I guess.
Everything about this game, the stakes, all of it, the coach, makes you think it should be Tulane. But why is it North Texas minus 2.5? I really don't understand it. But North Texas has been, defying the odds all year. They're 10-2 against the spread, as I mentioned earlier. And I don't know. I feel like I've seen Tulane. I mean, that UTSA game, I know that's not everything. And every team makes mistakes. Every team face plants from time to time. But, North Texas lost to a good USF team at home. And I feel like maybe I don't want to say there's something more to prove there. But I think there's something about North Texas that they're trying to prove and really scrap their way into a place that, I don't know. I don't know if I feel the same about Tulane. I feel like they're at a place they've been to big bowls before. They've been at high level spots. But North Texas is, I mean, their first AP ranking was this year. I just have a feeling North Texas somehow wins this game and covers this spread. So give me North Texas 2.5 on the road. It seems weird. I'm just feeling a weird vibe with the Mean Green here. So
That's an amazing stat. I did not know that about the first AP.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, they've been downtrodden for a long time. So we'll see. But again, like y'all said, really weird game with both coaches on the outs, and you have no idea. Moving on to our final Friday game. It's a UNLV running Rebs, 10-2 overall, 7-5 against the spread. Heading to the blue to take on the Boise State Broncos, who are 8-4 overall and against the spread. Boise, a 4-point favorite at home. You can find this one 7 p.m. Central on Fox. Jeez, this is a mess. The entire Mountain West selection process was a bit of a mess, though.
It was glorious. It had us glued to Twitter Sunday morning, all focus of the world on the Mountain West Conference. No, it was glorious. I think the ACC should probably honestly take a page from the book, put it in a black box, and just spit out which teams you actually think can win your playoff game, because that's how you end up with UVA and Duke in a championship. We got two premier programs from the Mountain West going against one another. It was an incredible process. I loved it. This was...
I'm not saying that it wasn't entertaining. It was entertaining. I'm just saying it was so hilariously weird. I don't hate it. I don't hate it, especially when you get down to the lower rungs of the tiebreaker, to just be like, you know what, let's just let the Bill Connolly S&P and some other stuff, like, we'll just jumble it together in a big old gumbo and see what happens. I think that is fun. I'm a little bummed that our guy Coach Eck at New Mexico got screwed out of that. That sucks.
That hurt. And the scenes there were fantastic. That game was an all-timer this weekend.
Yeah.
New Mexico rushing the field after the game. Like, you could tell Eck has this program going in the right direction. Got the contract extension. Much deserved, because damn, they thought Bronco Mendenhall had New Mexico in a good place with Devin Pierre last year. Jason Eck's way better. He is a way better coach.
And people forget they're coming to Norman next year, so should be interesting.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, that'll be a little spicy, a little fun. We'll see how that goes. But as for this game, Boise has been a disappointment, and I feel like this line, it's been bet up towards Boise, mainly because people see that blue Bronco and they know they're playing at home. And they're like, oh, got to slam Boise. It's going to be Boise. It's going to be Boise. I had a prediction. We never talk about our long shot odds and predictions and all this. I had a prediction where I really liked I think it was UNLV to win the Mountain West, because I thought that, all you have to do is have one shot at Boise and you have a chance to win it. That's what I thought. Boise was good. Now that Boise is not good, they're 8-4, a bit of a just not great. I like Dan Mullen and the boys to get the win on the blue and pull off the massive upset. So UNLV, big things happening in the desert. I've said this for years, that big things are happening in the desert. I've been the only champion of UNLV on the podcast.
People are just get jealous that they won't spend the time in a rebuild. We've seen it countless times on this podcast. A certain man standing, or I guess sitting above me, just giving up on his squads. Way too early.
UNLV on the road gets to wins the Mountain West. And a little bit of an element too. Boise, this is their last Mountain West game. They're moving on to the Pac-12, I believe, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and UNLV is one of the ones staying. So there you go. I don't know. Was there a little directive from the commissioner's office? Maybe a couple weird calls going on. I don't know. We'll see. But UNLV, that's my play, +4.
Yeah, I concur with Bobby. Dan Mullen is the factor for me. Boise State, I love this is at home for them. Boise State certainly has the blue blood factor when you're talking about a Mountain West team, but UNLV, hotter hands, and that staff I think is more solid, and I would trust them more as we get into a championship and bowl game type environment. That's no discredit to Boise State staff, just a much younger head coach there with less experience. So give me Mullen to get the running Rebs a Mountain West championship.
Did you see who got named Offensive Player of the Year in the Mountain West, Jameson? Anthony Calandria.
Calandria.
God, what a goat at UVA. It's finally gonna happen this weekend. UNLV is gonna win the Mountain West. They're gonna beat Boise at home. I feel so good about this game. I don't care about the result earlier this year. We hadn't come into our own. Finally, things are clicking. The defense still a little leaky, still a little bit worried about those explosive plays. But you know what? When you got a gamer like Anthony Calandria, when you have a head coach like Dan Mullen, who he could have taken any job in the country. He could have taken the Penn State job, but no, he is there in the desert building something. He understands. Watch him get hired. Why is Penn State not? Why they've asked everybody else?
I don't think he could have taken any job. I don't think he could have taken the Florida job.
I don't. Oh, what happens? That would be hilarious. If they were just like, actually, things weren't that bad. Like, they're like, things weren't that bad.
Return.
Oh my goodness. They hit him with a U up. They hit him with a running into your ex on Thanksgiving break.
They're like, we would rather just be competitive in games than get good recruiting classes.
Yeah, hit up your ex while they're in Las Vegas. Hope it works out for you.
But running Rebs, gonna take one home, finally put the trophy in the trophy case, gonna win the Mountain West, send Boise State packing as they go to whatever bummy Pac-12 alliance that they've created. Just an absolute farce trying to split up West Coast football. But I am going to go the running Rebs.
Blake.
A tail. Go ahead, Bob.
No, you were doing a whole thing. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. Blake, a tale as old as time. I think I just remember a very similar conversation we've had in the past where UNLV and Boise State meet each other, and then UNLV has to go onto the blue turf. You feel so confident. We did a Malort bet back then, and you lost.
If you're choosing Boise State, I'll put Malort. I'll put Malort on the line. I'll do a double Malort since we're going double dip. We're getting back that loss from earlier this year.
Well, so we're doing against the spread double Malort bet right now.
Not against. I say straight up. I want UNLV straight up. I don't care if UNLV.
He doesn't need the points.
UNLV.
Boise's going to win on a game-winning field goal now.
All right.
It does not matter to me if UNLV covers the spread. That is not what we do in the desert. It's just seeing if we get a nice against the spread record at the end of the year. No. We want trophies in cases.
Here's the thing with UNLV. This team's defense is one of the worst out there. And somehow, some way, they stumbled their way through many of their games this season to continuously get wins. The way they started the season, we were watching keen eye on them in week 0, almost lose to Idaho State. And then I decided, screw it. I'm going to pay attention to the Sam Houston State game the next week. I realized how bad Sam Houston State was in that game, but then I really knew how bad UNLV's defense was whenever they continued to play bad versus that team. And then ever since then, I've just been really keyed in on it. And I think that they've just played cupcakes in these last games of the season, like in the month of November after the New Mexico game. Colorado State, Utah State, Hawaii off island, and then Nevada. That's just trying to get people to think that UNLV's defense has gotten better. It's not. They already went to Boise and got absolutely blown out on their turf. And guess who's back for Boise? They've been doing poorly on offense recently, but now they got Maddox Madsen back. So I think Boise should just be able to just put up big points. It's going to be a really high scoring game here, but give me Boise -4.
All right, there we go. Let's move on to our final non-Power 4 conference championship. The first on Saturday, it is the Miami of Ohio. I forgot what they are. They're the Red Hawks, yeah, because they changed their name. They're 7-5 overall. 8-4. We don't need to talk about that.
Oh.
They're 8-4 against the spread. They're playing this one in Detroit at Ford Field against the Western Michigan Broncos. 8-4 overall, 9-3 against the spread. Western Michigan, a 9.5. Whoa, where did I get 9 from? They're 2.5-point favorite. You can find this one 11 a.m. Central on ESPN. Jameson, who do you like?
Yeah, Miami of Ohio also is a team that played a UNLV team, and that game really taught me a lot about Miami of Ohio. I don't know if you guys remember this. In the middle of the year, I actually picked Miami of Ohio against Lindenwood as one of my wild card picks. I was laughed at, and I felt really good. Then I realized Lindenwood might be one of the worst teams ever because Miami, Ohio just stumbled across UNLV. And I think that just says a lot about this team. They're not that good. Western Michigan big here.
I feel like Western Michigan, gimmicky team. Gimmicky team. I don't know why, but it just feels like when I look at the MAC championship, it's always some sort of combination of Miami of Ohio, Toledo. Western Michigan colors don't belong on Ford Field. Give me the Red Hawks.
Yeah, this is a battle of Jameson's going to hate me for saying this, but this is a battle of two teams who the only thing I know about them is their branding, and both of them look like apps. They look like the M looks like I don't even know what, like maybe an offshore gambling site, like some sort of app that's going to like rip your data, and the W looks like some sort of regional banking app that doesn't work.
I thought you meant appetizers at first. I was like, what the hell? Where the hell is it going?
This is it is an appetizer game. ESPN, 11 a.m. In Connecticut, apparently, on ESPN. But go ahead and give me. I was zoned out. I didn't even hear what you guys were saying before because I was trying to figure out what the team was called.
Your pick should have nothing to do with our picks.
No, it doesn't. But I had a talking point that I wanted to use based on that. But give me Western Michigan -2.5. I'm gonna default to the tie usual and pick the favorites.
I have a
no,
of course. And here's my thing. I have almost like a little bit of a rule with the Mountain West. Or not Mountain West, Jesus. I'm all over the place.
Mountain West Michigan.
West
Michigan.
So keep in mind
let's go mess. Northern Illinois of the MAC is going to the new Pac-12. Make that make sense. How does that make sense?
It doesn't. Or are they going to the Pac-12 or the Mountain West? I can't remember.
Oh, it's the Mountain West. I can't remember. They're going. We're bringing in brands. Grand Canyon's getting involved.
Anytime Grand Canyon gets involved, it's not a good thing.
The name is at least fitting.
But here's my thing with the MAC. I feel like every time the MAC championship happens, the underdog somehow wins. Regardless of I feel we've been doing this pick show a long time. I've been picking these conference championship games, and I feel like every time I've tried to fade the favorite, it usually works. So give me Miami of Ohio to cover the 2.5 here on the road.
I did look up because I knew Miami had a good quarterback or a well-known one, DeQuan Finn, formerly of Toledo, then Baylor. And then I guess Miami of Ohio. Guess he started to sit out a game or two ago to focus on his NFL future. So
yikes.
Not good. Not good.
Look, you can't hurt me at this point. So anyway,
Bobby's just having funsy picks right now.
It's bad when you pull up the depth chart and it's just all news articles about it. That's never a good sign.
Not good. Good. All right, moving on to our next game. The final non-serious conference championship matchup. It's the 7-5 Duke Blue Devils, 6-6 against the spread in the ACC championship against the 17th ranked Virginia Cavaliers. The Hoos are 10-2 overall, 8-4 against the spread, and only a 3.5-point favorite. You can find this one 7 p.m. Central on ABC. Look, the last time they played this, it's kind of funny because we had the whole ACC doomsday scenario where oh my God, could you imagine if a 4-loss Duke team made the ACC? And Virginia dashed those hopes, if I recall correctly. Well, Just like that Simpsons meme where Mo throws Barney out of the bar and Barney pops up right behind him. Duke's back, baby, and they somehow made the ACC championship at 7-5. And like you said, I'm picking for funsies. I need the doomsday. I need the meltdown, and I think it's going to happen. Give me Duke 3.5. It's hard to beat the same team twice, and it would just be too damn funny. They have made it too far to not somehow finish the job. Give me Duke.
Tale as old as time, Blake. This guy continues to say it's a hard to match to beat the same team twice, and then Blake always hits him with the stats that it's not actually the case.
Yeah,
We've been doing that for maybe like
6
years, maybe 7 years.
So
a good championship run.
Just to clarify, unless my count is wrong, the delta between Bobby and I is 6 games. We have picked together on 3, and we've picked against each other on 3. So I'm taking Chandler Moore wins and the UVA Cavaliers in this one. At this point, we are pacing towards a world where Bobby and I could tie for last, which is probable the way that things have been going lately. But give me Chandler Moore wins. Look, he started his career at OU, went to TCU, well known to everyone on this podcast. Well, he didn't necessarily play at OU, but this man has single-handedly carried UVA to 10-2 in an ACC championship. OU might be the title favorites if we had Chandler Moore wins on the team still. So go ahead and give me Chandler Moore wins to get that 11th win and the cover in this one.
Yeah, I do agree with you, Ty, in the sense I think Chandler Morris right now is a better quarterback than John Mateer. I think he sees the field a little bit better. Granted, he's like 5 years older than John Mateer, but that is besides the point.
He played in the 2020 Big 12 championship against Iowa State and Brock Purdy.
He's old.
He is older than dirt.
Did he win that game?
Not really. It wasn't really him who played. It was mainly Radler. They put him in as a little gadget thing, and he ran a touchdown. Anyways,
what would John Mateer's gadget be? Arm punt.
It's such a
down the field.
All right. Blake, who do you got?
Yeah. Although I love the idea of the chaos, I gotta back my guy. I love Chandler Morris. I think this Duke number just feels off. It feels like Virginia should be favored by about a touchdown or so. I think Virginia's offense, they've been clicking, but their defense honestly has been a pretty really solid one. And that's where I think just Duke flat out sucks, is they have no defense whatsoever. They can't stop the run. They're maybe a little, or they can stop the run a little bit, but they're about mid of the FBS. And then their pass defense, I think, is 131 out of 136. What the heck? Like, this team cannot stop a nosebleed. That's why they have 5 losses, and that's why they lose to inferior opponents all the time, is because Manny Diaz, a defensive guy, just can't seem to field one. I don't get it. Virginia, I think, rolls them. I think people are excited about the chaos and the possibilities that could happen with Duke. I just don't think Duke's a very good team. I think they just lucked into this spot. So give me Virginia.
They absolutely did. They let Gio Lopez complete 21 of 27 passes in the UNC game.
I ain't trusting that. No, I don't care if Gio Lopez developed even 200%. Like, those aren't stat lines he's ever putting up in an FBS game. Again, God,
yeah.
He's such
It's Duke's toast. Give me Virginia here.
All right, moving on to what'll be just an absolute banger of a game. I'm really excited about this one. Or maybe not a banger of a game, but I'm really excited to see what happens. It's the 11th ranked BYU Cougars, 11-1 against the spread, 11-1 overall, 9-3 against the spread, trying to avenge their only loss of the season to the Texas Tech Red Raiders, ranked 4th in the country, 11-1 overall and against the spread. Tech, a 12.5-point favorite. You can find this one 11 a.m. Central on ABC. This one going down at Jerry World in Arlington. Jameson, who claims their first Big 12 championship?
I get confused. Blake, I need your help. Who's the quarterback for Texas Tech?
It's Alan Bowman.
This is like your last chance to do the bit, isn't it? He's running out of eligibility, right?
I just need the answer, Blake.
Bear Morton.
Oh yes, it's Barrymore. I'm picking BYU. There's a little good old tie switch, bait and switch there.
The tie turnaround.
Yes. I just wanted to say that
That's
joke.
not a bait and switch.
Where I talk about one side and then immediately pick the other. I mean, is that not the right term?
I don't think
Whatever.
that's what
Doesn't matter. Screw it. I don't care. I don't know words anyways. I think BYU looked like they were overmatched by Texas Tech in their defense. This Texas Tech defense is absolutely legit. But they've got a lot of momentum right now with Sataki staying. You know, they see the writing on the wall where they're extremely desperate that they don't think there's any chance they get in. I think Texas Tech thinks in the back of their mind, there's a small percentage saying, you know what, if we lose this game, we're good. But I think there's a lot of people in the committee room that would not do that. And I think the desperate nature of BYU gets them cover.
Yeah, this Jameson's right on the money, or I think I go even stronger. BYU money line. I want to run through a wall right now for Kalani Sitake, and I'm not even a BYU fan. So
Malort.
But against who though? Who is anybody
Against
taking Tech?
Jameson.
But
I did
James
not
is
pick
taking
Texas
BYU.
Yeah, but not money line.
Oh,
I'll do it with you. If you got it on the table, I'll do it with you. I'll pick Tech for a Malort. You finish.
Would you eat 6 crumble cookies? I'm talking about the big crumble cookies,
No.
Jameson. If BYU beat Texas Tech.
And in one sitting,
Yes.
That'll kill
your,
them.
your
how many
A1C
did
is going
they
to
do?
turn to 10 after that. Like, you're screwed.
How many did they do per week? Is it 6 or 5?
It's
I
different
would
because
think
you've been
six,
adding these
but-
freaking cakes recently. And
You
it
got to
just-
clean
all the
out
cakes
a weekly.
suck.
You got to clean out a weekly selection in one calendar day.
Of the full-size cookies.
Yes,
So who's taking that bet?
I'm not.
Maybe we iron out the details offline if we can find a way to
You
do
do a
it.
tortilla
but-
versus a crumble. You gotta have a whole bag of tortillas.
I could do a bag of tortillas. That's not a problem. The crumble
I don't know,
cookies
maybe
that's a
maybe
mess.
pound. Yeah, an equivalent weight of tortillas. So you have to buy the crumble cookies either way, I guess.
No,
to weigh.
calories. Calories is what you need to do.
Equivalent
Not
calories.
weight.
No, not even equivalent sugar content.
Well, no, I mean, if you think about the calories, you can get there pretty quick with the tortillas.
Dude,
No,
crumble
not compared to a
cookies
crumble
are
cookie.
Nah, crumble
unbelievable.
cookies.
Good point. Good
Those
point. Good
things.
point.
Do you
one
know what
cookie
it
has
is?
like 5 serving sizes. Or
I
something.
take
Do you know how
forget
many
how big the
cookies?
crumble.
Yeah, it's like this. According to Google, 600 to 850 calories. Some flavors go over 1,000.
Yeah.
Oh my
I was like, I could see some going over 1,000 with how decadent they're gonna be, but BYU, just talk about all-time momentum right now where people thought Texas Tech was going to run away with the conference, or some people did. The ball knowers know they're not going to run away with the conference, but people think because they're spending a lot on the NIL, stuff like that, they're set up for the future. BYU kind of matched them in a day. I think have the better head coach. I think have the better future of the program. I don't know. I'm all in on the BYU Cougs. If I wasn't busy this weekend, I would 1,000 or not 1,000%, but I would like to be at this game. And I think I would find a way to get a BYU shirt just to watch Tech crumble. The moment they can finally win it, they get beat by a team that's only been in the conference for 2 years. Oh, baby, if you want my running dogs parlay right now, hit that little UNLV money line, fire that BYU money line all in one. Buy you a nice steak dinner later that night. So I'm going BYU. I'm fired up for this. This is going to be a great game. I think it's going to be the best game of the day.
Crumble has 7 cookie flavors.
Just to watch Tech crumble was a banger of a line. I don't even know if you meant it on purpose.
No, definitely not. But God, this would be so great. Tech just finally they finally can taste it. Taste the little conference championship. Just gets snatched away. Ooh.
It's like he keeps inadvertently dropping banger puns. Look, I'll do a Malort bet with you on this one, Blake. Just one little shooter of I'm taking Tech. I'm taking Tech big. Look, I like BYU. I've been known to be sympathetic on BYU. I'm a BYU knower more than Blake is. For example, I know that they've been in the conference more than 2 years. But give me Tech. I got to make the smart decision here. And I think Tech is 12.5's a lot. I can see it moving down as we're recording on Tuesday, but yeah, give me the Red Raiders at home at high noon.
At Jerry World, but that'll basically be a home game, I would think. Fun fact, BYU actually played in the first ever college football game at Jerry World against OU. Yeah. I don't know if they've played there ever since, actually. So yeah, this is tricky. Because on one hand, I was on BYU in Lubbock, and I thought that they would keep it closer than they did.
Diamond hands, Bobby. Diamond hands.
They looked like a total mess. Everything fell apart. They were a disaster. Bear Bachmeyer looked like he had no idea what the hell he was doing. It was a disaster. It was a total just a mess. So it feels like putting your hand back on the hot stove if you went with BYU here. Because I think Texas Tech looks really, really damn good. They look a cut above every single Big 12 team. And it's hard not to slam 12.5, but I'll put my hand back on that stove because I think BYU finds a way to keep this close. 12.5 just feels like a little too much for me. In a do or die situation, I just feel like this line's a little too inflated. If it was like 9.5, I'd go Tech, but I just think 10.5 is too much. Or sorry, 12.5 is too much. And yeah, give me the Cougars to keep it close. So let's move on to a massive Big Ten battle here. It's the second ranked Indiana Hoosiers, 12-0, 7-5 against the spread. Taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes, ranked first in the country, 12-0, 11-1 against the spread. Ohio State, a 4.5-point favorite. You can find this one 7 p.m. Central on Fox. This one going down at Lucas Oil Field in Indianapolis. Massive game. I mean, it's 1 versus 2. You rarely get this sort of situation in really ever outside of the national championship. So really, really cool to see this. And I feel like Indiana has had to battle the whole fraudulent thing for a long time. And I feel like Kirk Cignetti, anytime you doubt him, you immediately regret it. And I don't want this to sound like like condemning Indiana or trying to be like Indiana's not legit. Because I really like what Fernando Mendoza and that squad have done this year. They've been excellent. I mean, undefeated at Indiana, a place that barely won 9 games, like most of its history. This is unprecedented for them. It's going down in their home state. But I just feel like Ohio State is just a little bit better. I think they're an edge better. I think 4.5 is a nice number. And shoot, I'm going to go with the Buckeyes. It doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel great. But I just feel like they're a better team by that much. So give me the Bucks.
Look, I am a known Indy hater, but it does need to be acknowledged, like Bobby said, this is the losingest program in major college football. That's an actual fact. You can look it up. It's what they have done there is absolutely amazing. It's really cool for the sport. Like any Indy fan, any Vanderbilt fan, any UNT fan that ever thought that the portal and NIL was a bad idea, they are eating that crow because it is the only thing that has made these programs relevant. And well, obviously the contributions of the players that have come there as well. But Fernando Mendoza, currently the Heisman favorite on a lot of sports books right now. Disgusting. He's at like 2,500 yards on the season or something. It's not really his fault. That's more of everyone else this year. But Ohio State big in this one for me. I think both these teams are locked for the playoff. It's kind of gross. Like the Big Ten has the same scheduling problem of mega conferences where, like, yeah, Penn State fell out, but like Indiana could have lost the Oregon game. And I think they're going to get smoked in this game, and they still make the playoff. It's like unbelievably easy paths for some of these teams to make it into the playoff. Yeah, give me the Buckeyes. And just real quick, if you were to do a crumble cookie tortilla bet, if you did all of the crumble cookies this week, I just added it all up, you're right at like 5,600 calories for the 5 or 6 cookies they have this week, which works out to standard Mission brand flour tortillas, about 40 tortillas. I think 40 tortillas is way more doable for me than the cookies. But
That's a lot of tortillas, though.
yeah, but the
That
tortillas are like 2 grams of fat, 2 grams of sugar a piece. Like it's a lot of tortillas. But if you did a calorie equivalent, I think you got to go to tortillas.
You're running the calories up, but you're not running the sugar up. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean you're still doing like
It's bad regardless.
yeah, it's only 80 grams of sugar to do 40 tortillas. If you do like Mission flour tortilla, you could do low fat tortillas too. Like it's gonna suck either way, but the cookies are rough.
Get some get some of those nice like HEB butter tortillas.
Yeah, I'm not even going to do the math on the sugar. Like 5,600 calories on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cookies. 5,600 might be how many points Ohio State scores on Indiana. Come to think of it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be probably a sucker in this one, but I actually do believe in this Indiana squad. Like, I think they are significantly better than what they were last year. And granted, a lot of it has to do, and I think this is just like the running thing with the Big Ten. A lot of it has to do with favorable schedules. It's like, I think they're really talented. I think Ohio State's talented. Are both of these programs, did they benefit from basically not having to play anybody all year? Yes, but I think these are two of the best teams in the country. I think these are two teams that can win the national championship. I think Indiana just matches Ohio State. Maybe not talent-wise in the sense of your composite for recruiting classes, but what Kurt Signetti gets out of those guys, I think Indiana keeps it close. Could definitely has a chance to win, but the one thing we saw last year, even in that playoff game, it's like Indiana, even in the bad losses, can make things look better towards the end. So I know they're going to keep fighting. So give me Indiana plus the 4.5.
I had thoughts about Indiana because I think they have been very scrappy, and keeping this close just makes sense in this game. I think that Michigan game changed my mind with Ohio State. I thought that was going to be a perfect opportunity for scrap. Poor weather, rivalry game in Ohio State. They had plenty of opportunities to go down, but Michigan didn't get touchdowns, and Ohio State just weathered the storm. I think this Ohio State team is exceptionally special, and when you look at them, you don't see many weaknesses. And I think that they can handle this early and keep a touchdown lead and cover this spread.
All right, there we go. That is those are our picks for the Big Ten championship. Keep in mind the winner of this game. Is probably, I mean, look, they're going to the Rose Bowl, and considering they'll be the number 1 seed overall, look, if they'll use the 8-9, they're essentially playing the winner of this game. So in the Rose Bowl, so very much something to watch for if you're a Sooner fan. Or just a college football fan in general. Look, it's 1 versus 2. Watch the game. What am I talking about?
You need more reason to watch.
Yeah, clearly. Let's move on to the SEC championship. It's a 9th ranked Alabama Crimson Tide, 10-2 overall, 9-3 against the spread, taking on the Georgia Bulldogs, ranked 3rd in the country. They're 11-1, 5-7 against the spread. UGA, a 2.5-point favorite. You can find this one 3 p.m. Central on ABC. Jameson, who do you like here?
Another Georgia player has gotten into a car accident, Bo Walker, and has broken his jaw. Can't play. I understand he's just a freshman on the team, but it's just, what the hell is going on? I look at this game, and I say this a lot in the past, but I close my eyes and I say, what is the scenario I see the most? And the scenario I see the most is Alabama winning, making a huge jump in the rankings, pushing OU down into a road game. I just see it. I for some reason, I'm just really having trouble seeing Oklahoma in a home playoff game right now. I just feel very spooked about it. I think this Alabama team is a really damn good football team. And despite the Oklahoma loss, I truly think that I want to give Oklahoma their flowers and their defense in that game. You play that game 9 more times. Alabama wins it 8 of the times. They're really, really special, and they've already proven to beat Georgia once. And I can think that they can play an even better game than they played against Georgia. So I think Alabama handles them and wins.
Yeah, both of these teams, I'm not concerned, but I don't think they're as strong as they were in the past. And I know both these teams could probably compete for a national title, but just it's like Alabama not being able to separate from Auburn, Georgia not being able to separate from Georgia Tech. Really, I don't know. It just feels like these teams are closer. Like this basically feels like a pick 'em, honestly. I'm gonna go Georgia just because I think their defense has gotten better towards the end of the year. I've liked somewhat of what I've seen with Gunnar Stockton a little bit. I think he's rounding into form, but I'm not gonna bet this one. Like this, I think these are two evenly matched teams. Nothing would surprise me. So I'm gonna go Georgia, beat Atlanta, and just hopefully even the series for the year. But yeah, I have no confidence in that pick.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone needs a reminder. And look, things happen in college football, but Georgia should have lost that Tennessee game. So that's like in my mind, I'm looking at a 10-2 Georgia team that lost a tough game at home to Tennessee, which they did win. But yeah, I don't know. Now that we're getting into like postseason stuff, going against Kirby Smart seems unwise. It seems like the smart thing to do is to go with him, but I'm kind of with Jameson. Maybe it's OU pessimism. I feel like I'm less OU pessimistic than he is, but yeah, it just seems like this Bama team could really hook it up. And maybe it's because I watch more Bama games. I really feel like it's kind of at this point, like what's the worst thing that could happen? And that's Bama winning this one and just really throwing a wrench in everything. You know what? I like Georgia to win, but give me Bama in the points.
What? Okay, so you're going a 1 or 2 point what victory?
The most heartbreaking of
It's possible. Yeah, it's in Georgia. It's in Georgia. They're going down to hot Atlanta. Not gonna be that hot this time of year, but anything can happen.
This one's giving me some pause here because you have the recent historical precedent we've seen with Georgia's just inability to beat Alabama with or without Nick Saban. I mean, we saw it earlier this year, and Georgia just clearly looked like the lesser of the two teams. But to me, I feel like Georgia's improved. I'm trying to look past what we saw at the last game of the year, with Georgia Tech. That's always some weirdness. Brent Key is always going to muck that game up, make it odd. I will say maybe this is some hopium. Maybe that I'm because I really want Georgia to win. Obviously, every OU fan should really want Georgia to win. But I feel like Georgia's improved, and I feel like I just feel like they have the right stuff to win this game. I feel like defensively, as Blake said, they've improved. I feel like Gunnar Stockton has really warmed up as the season's gone on to really kind of be a proper, really good SEC quarterback. I think Ty Simpson's trying to beat Ty Simpson here is going to be really tough. This is going to be a banger of a game. I'm very excited to watch it. I think all OU fans will be just completely on pins and needles on this one. But I'm going to give Kirby Smart the edge here to have a statement win. Finally get just get another win against Alabama here. They've just been so snake bitten recently. I think they find a way to win. I think they find a way to cover. Give me the Dogs 2.5, but I'm not overly like, oh my God, Georgia. What?
I'm using my mulligan for the year.
What happened?
I'm using my mulligan for the year, Bobby. I'm switching over to Georgia on the last game of the season.
Did you plan on this the whole way?
Now you've doomed us to a Bama big win.
The last pick.
All right, give me Georgia. It's going to be a lot more fun to cheer for them. I don't want to cheer for Alabama. Screw that.
I was gonna say, does anyone have that picture where it's Bama, Georgia, OU, and Texas, and it's just a circle of can't beat, and it's just
Circle of
Bama
suck.
can't beat OU can't beat Texas, Texas can't beat Georgia, Georgia can't beat Alabama, and it's just this SEC like cannibalism at the top.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Someone has to break the generational trauma.
Yeah.
Well, it's not going to be us. We're going to keep losing to Texas and beating Bama.
Probably. Well, folks, that is the end of the weekend spread in 2025. We've come to our final game. No wild card, obviously. Nothing to really pick. Yeah. So as far as the contest goes, this is the end. But we have bowl games coming up, and Army Navy next week. So we'll figure some stuff out with that. But this thing's done, so we really appreciate y'all following with us from week 0 to now. It's really just truly a highlight of my week to hop on with you guys and talk football, mess around, laugh a bit. It's always fun. We do this because we do this for fun. We don't do this for money. We're literally just doing this because we're 4 guys in 4 different cities, all really good friends. This is our chance to hang out. And I think it's a truly special thing to be able to spend this time with y'all for an hour plus, unfortunately, sometimes in some situations bordering 2 hours every week. And it's a really cool thing to have this. And it's been really fun. It's been a really fun season. So, I just want to thank the audience for watching. If y'all picked up and watched us this year, we really appreciate that. But to you 3 guys, thank you for showing up every single week, locked in. Even if you're overseas, Blake, or out of town, you find a way to get the picks in, and have found a way to make this show really special for years and years. So, very much appreciate all you guys.
Yep, it's one of my favorite times of the week. It's a lot of fun. So we'll see how this week goes and see if I can get a W.
Yep, for sure. Final words, Blake?
No, just love the show so much. Sad that it's over. I thought you put it eloquently, Bobby. I didn't want to be like Shaq whenever, who was it, Ernie, giving the final send-off on TNT, and he gives like this eloquent monologue, and Shaq's like, wait a minute, Ernie, I got one more thing, and it just like completely ruined the vibe of it. Wasn't trying to do that, but Bobby said it perfectly. I look forward to this every single week. Glad we had another trip around the sun with this podcast. Looking forward to the future ones.
Ty?
Yeah, can you clarify for the beloved listeners and viewers what the punishment is this year for the loser?
We haven't
no
talked.
Get tased.
We never talked about
Bobby gets tased one random
tased.
time in the next
But it has to be
year.
by a police officer.
We
and it
never
cannot
did
be
this.
pre-planned.
We never did this. We never talked about getting tased.
You must get tased by a cop, and it can't be pre-planned. So if you get arrested and not tased, you got to try again until you get tased.
Oh my god. Good lord. Well, again, plenty of stuff to talk about. We'll have a college football playoff run to talk about with OU. Bowl game season, our bowl pods. God, the plenty of yapping there. But as far as regular season, oh my god, the comments. Just my god.
If you do that, you don't have to do this punishment or the fantasy football.
No, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, but you do that. You might end up getting tased inadvertently if you do that.
No, I will not do it. Jeffrey's been on a tear in the comments.
We should do localized punishment. I think you should have to go open to close at Johnny's, consuming one main menu item every hour.
Bobby would be on that Frankfurter grind like no
Yes,
other.
he does get
I know my man loves that Frankfurter.
I would have the Frankfurter and then be like, oh, I don't know what else am I going to do?
You can get one of them pies that's been in the window since 1997.
They have great pies. That don't slander Johnny's pie.
I don't know. I think I've been eyeing the same key lime pie since the 90s.
You gotta get the banana, or the banana pie is the way to go.
I've never had one there.
Well, oh boy, but Yeah, my wife gets a ham and cheese sandwich.
Oh my God, Bobby.
All right, that's all we got for today. We'll see y'all next time. I think we're going to be back on Sunday.
I love that's the line in the sand. It's like Ty will go on the 20-minute rants, and Bobby mentions one thing about his wife's wife getting a ham
Johnny's
sandwich.
order.
I like the onion rings.
Jeffrey, I mentioned your name earlier. Yeah, everyone loves the onion rings. That's not a strange
It's
one.
Griffey. It's not Jeffrey.
It's
What are you
Griffey.
doing?
I don't know.
Griffey?
Bobby.
I thought it was
Jeff.
Jeffrey. Oh my
It
God,
starts with the
Jeffrey.
Bobby, Bobby's having a
Freudian
stroke.
slip.
Call us off this
Griffey.
podcast.
Oh my God,
Freudian
Griffey, I'm
slip.
so sorry.
You thought you were
Oh
one of
my
his old
God.
friends that's not around anymore.
Oh God, I'm sorry, Griffey.
Cut it off, Bobby. Just end it.
Oh Lord, have mercy. All right, we'll see y'all on Sunday for the college football playoff live reaction. Till then, have a good weekend, everyone. Good luck out there. Boomer Sooner.